he was forced to quit. Not in the regular sense. This is Friendlyjordies, a YouTuber who is an investigative journalist. He puts his journalism pieces on his YouTube channel. He wasn't forced to quit in the regular way that you would think with YouTube and everything like that. He was forced to quit because there was a conglomerate of very shady people who forced him to quit under duress, basically under bad situation. We're going to get right into it right now, and then I'll explain everything in later on in the video. This is his video where he made a statement about what was going on.
You might have noticed that we haven't been releasing videos after the police arrested a suspect for the firebombing of my house.
Oh yeah, that's one big thing. He angered the wrong people, and the wrong people have government ties. So they decided, hey, we can do whatever we want. We're going to go and we're going to throw Molotov cocktails at his house. The mistake that they made is that the first thing they did is that they threw firebombs and that kind of stuff at the house of his neighbor. And then they threw the devices that they used into his neighbor's house. His neighbor's house caught fire. Luckily, no one was hurt, but they realized that they made a mistake. They went the next night to his house, expecting him to be asleep. They threw the devices in there. His house caught fire. He was not in his house, so no one got injured as well. Someone got arrested, but nothing was being done after that.
While we're very grateful for their persistence throughout this ordeal, we felt it would be prudent to see what the response would be from certain individuals.
The people that he was talking about specifically were people from the Coronation Group, which is kind of a real estate organization in New South Wales, Australia, where he is residing. And these are the people that he angered. And he wanted to see how exactly they were going to be responding to everything that he was doing. And I guess to see if they would back off or if they would ask for more stuff. And he explains further.
Their response has been one of rather perplexing confidence. Buoyed by the lack of further arrests, they have decided to be much more blunt with their requests.
Well, yeah, if you feel you have impunity, as these guys do, or at least seem they do, you're going to do whatever you can to get more upper hand. You're going to do whatever you can to get your requests met. Because, heck, the police aren't going to do anything, so why the heck are you going to be worried about anything?
Threatening anyone they believe had handed over information to assist with the creation of the video Coronation. This video detailed Link's former Deputy Premier John Barilaro had...
And that's the big thing. That is one thing that he mentioned in the Coronation video, which is no longer online. But as you know, the internet never forgets. So on the internet, you could look up the video Coronation by Friendlyjordies. Someone somewhere has uploads of it. YouTube always has uploads of it. If not, there's an archive of it somewhere. You can find it. I'm not going to go directly to it because I don't want my trouble for my channel specifically. But because these people are very weird. Luckily, I don't live in Australia, so I don't have to worry too much. But the Streisand effect is going to be hitting them, I think, right now.
With development company Coronation Property. The video encompassed more than Coronation Property Associates. It included an array of spirited characters, many of whom were enraged with its release. Police have made it very clear that many of the prime suspects in the firebombing are in that video.
So, the police let him know, oh, all the people that you made that video of, they are most likely the people who did this. Oh, and by the way, we're not going to do anything about it. We just have one person, one suspect. We'll keep him in there until you forget about things. And then, of course, we're going to let him go because he has high ties in the government. And if I don't do that, I am going to get in trouble myself. This is just supposition on my part. Of course, if you disagree, tell me in the comments down below. If you have any more information, tell me in the comments down below. This is everything I was able to gather from my research on this whole situation. No one was doing anything quickly enough. It really did seem like they were just trying to hope that he forgot or he got scared enough to stop. It really seemed that way from everything that I'm gathering on this situation. This is the video that he made. This is John Barilaro's, the one on the far left. These guys are the real estate developers. These are the team, family, whatever you want to call it, for Coronation themselves in New South Wales, Australia. Again, they have huge ties to him. He's one of the main people that was helping them get contracts, get land deals, lower their taxes, a bunch of different things that were going on. They aren't happy. He wasn't happy. So they started actually doing things that a mob would do. And as an investigative journalist, he wasn't as afraid of what was going to happen because he's like, of course, you have high ideals, lofty ideals of the government's going to protect me. The government's not going to allow corruption to happen. These people are here for law and order. These people are here for justice, especially the police. They're not going to be cronies of someone else. They're not going to be, paid off or whatever. It's all about the law, right? They don't break the law, then they're not going to get in trouble. They break the law, they try to hurt me, they do this to my house, they're going to get caught, and then they're going to get in trouble. Well, he learned very quickly that is not the way it goes, at least in New South Wales. It seems like to be like exactly Chicago of the 1920s, where, Al Capone was in control of the city and the police were doing his bidding. It seems, by what was said in Coronation and the things that happened afterwards to him, they're in cahoots. Maybe not directly as in like, hey, you pay me, whatever. It's more probably don't get our people in trouble legally and you'll keep your job. That's pretty much probably what it is. It could go further. I don't have proof either way. This is just, again, supposition on my part. But the inaction of the police in his situation makes me think that either their leadership is in same cahoots as John Barilaro was, or they were being threatened in a way that they couldn't work against them, even in legal forms, even if supposedly the police are protected, etc. They couldn't for some reason. And it seems really bad. And I'm not going to say that it's only New South Wales. I'm not going to say it's only Australia. Every country in the whole world has issues with corruption. Some are more serious than others. I live in the United States. Corruption is everywhere over here too, with the police, with the government, etc. Sometimes it's smaller, sometimes it's larger, sometimes it comes out, sometimes it doesn't. But it's a very, very, very dangerous thing to be an investigative journalist against these large towers of power, these large people in power, because they can do a lot of bad things to you.
Now, over a year later, these figures are once again venting, threatening dire consequences if the video isn't taken down. Given these people's colourful history, we don't consider these to be idle threats.
I mean, they actually went and firebombed his house. So, yeah, I wouldn't consider that idle threats either. I would really think twice about this, honestly. I don't blame him one bit. This is serious stuff.
Naturally, we contacted the appropriate authorities.
Who did nothing.
But it appears these men have engulfed the state in a state of fear.
It appears as though, like I said, they might have been threatened in some way.
It appears these men are indeed above the law. It appears these men are free to point the scythe at anyone they wish, blackmail them with the most heinous, violent acts imaginable, and there is not an authority in the land powerful enough, or perhaps foolhardy enough, to check them.
Which is exactly like Chicago in the 1920s, where Al Capone and other gangsters, mobsters were doing whatever they wanted. The police weren't going to help the public because the police were powerless. If the police tried anything, their families were gone, and anyone that they cared about was gone, including themselves. They were going to get hurt. So this is basically what he is saying is happening in New South Wales, without really saying it, but kind of, saying it in a way.
But if the content of Coronation is to fall on willfully deaf ears, if its only tangible result is the death of innocent people, we will not have their lives hang on our conscience.
And I agree. You can't have innocent people go down for something that you have started, something that you have done, as much as it is a righteous act that you're doing, a righteous thing you're going after, making sure there's no corruption, making sure everything is equal for everybody. If you're going to have innocent people in there, it's just, you can't just let that happen. It sucks. It sucks because I'm the kind of person that likes having, justice prevail. You can't have innocent people be hurt for what you're doing.
In other words, you win. We're taking down the video. Congratulations, you run this city.
And that's where he stopped his thing. And I want to also, before I leave and before I, do everything, give you guys another example of someone who went too close to the sun and got burned. This is her right here behind me. She's Daphne Caruana Galizia. She was the main person who brought out the Panama Papers. Everyone forgot about the Panama Papers. It was a damning investigative journalistic piece who brought a lot of corruption out into the open between the US and all these other countries. And it kind of went away. Why? Because the people that be, the powers that be, didn't like it. It went away. She is gone. She was ended by a car bomb. She was just doing what she felt was right. and she paid the price for it, the ultimate price for it. And that is something that investigative journalists have to go through everywhere in the world. I have family that lives in Mexico, investigative journalists over there. They get ended every day in many cases, at least a couple of months. Sometimes once a month they have to stop because if not, their family has to worry about issues as well. These are all things that if you are going to be going through investigative journalism and looking for justice, these are the risks that you have to take. And may she rest in peace, and may all those who have suffered at the hands of corrupt and just heinous individuals, may they all rest in peace. Thank you so much for watching. This is the Mad Salvi. Check out my socials down in the description. Let me know in the comments down below what you think about what I've said. If you have any corrections for me or any constructive criticism on what you want to see next or anything like that, let me know. I will be having a beautiful video on the screen that I would like you to watch. I appreciate you for watching here. Thank you so much. This is the Mad Salvi. I will be seeing you all next time. Thank you. Bye-bye.